In the year 2487, Earth stood as a gleaming bastion of human achievement, a teeming hub of technological marvels and political diplomacy. The sprawling cityscape of New Manhattan stretched beneath the dusky sky, where towering skyscrapers shimmered like jewels against the backdrop of the cosmos. Captain Leo Marquez, a figure of rugged determination and strategic genius, gazed out from the observation deck of the Celestial Guardian, Earth's flagship vessel. His eyes were fixed on the tranquil expanse of the solar system, unaware that tranquility was about to shatter. The starlight dimmed momentarily, as if the universe itself held its breath. Without warning, a ripple of distortion traversed the void. Materializing into an alien scout ship, a sleek, menacing vessel of darkened hull and ominous design. Its presence was as sudden as it was disquieting. The ship, initially cloaked in a shroud of energy, now revealed itself with an unsettling elegance. Leo's calm demeanor was a veneer masking an undercurrent of unease. "Report, Lieutenant," he commanded, his voice steady but laced with the weight of responsibility. Lieutenant Kara Ruiz, his trusted second-in-command, quickly analyzed the data streaming across her console. "Captain, we've detected an unidentified craft entering our proximity. It's unlike anything in our records, a scout ship from the Galactic Empire, judging by its energy signature." The name Galactic Empire struck a chord deep within the corridors of Leo's mind. Rumors of their expansion and militaristic conquests had circulated in hushed tones among Earth's leaders, but this was the first direct encounter. "Deploy the defensive drones and establish communication protocols," Leo ordered. "We need to assess their intentions before we make any moves." As the Celestial Guardian's defense systems hummed to life, the alien ship's comms crackled, an unfamiliar language reverberating through the frequencies. The transmission was abruptly cut off by a single, clear message in standard galactic English: "This is Scout Ship Vorta of the Galactic Empire. We request immediate contact with your commanding officer." Leo's brow furrowed. The request was formal but laced with an underlying menace. "Open a channel," he said, his voice resolute. The screen flickered, revealing a figure draped in a dark, ornate uniform, a representative of the Galactic Empire. The alien's eyes, sharp and cold, fixed on Leo with an inscrutable gaze. "Captain Marquez." The envoy's voice was smooth, yet carried an edge. "I am Envoy Raxus. We have come to ascertain Earth's status and ensure compliance with galactic regulations. The Empire has taken a keen interest in your planet." Leo's gaze was unwavering. "Earth is a sovereign entity and will not submit to any external control. What is your purpose here?" Raxus's expression remained impassive. "Our interests are purely diplomatic. However, we are prepared to enforce our regulations if necessary. Your compliance will be taken as a gesture of goodwill." Leo's mind raced through diplomatic protocols and possible repercussions. The Empire's reputation for ruthless efficiency and expansionism was well known. And their veiled threat was unmistakable. "We will not be intimidated," Leo replied firmly. "We request that you leave our space immediately and refrain from any further incursions." Raxus's eyes narrowed slightly, but he maintained his composure. "We shall respect your request for now, but do not mistake this as a concession. The Empire's presence will be felt again." With that, the transmission ended abruptly, and the screen returned to static. The alien ship's silhouette lingered for a moment before it began to dissolve into the fabric of space, vanishing from sight. The Celestial Guardian's crew exchanged nervous glances. The weight of the encounter hung heavily in the air. Leo turned to Lieutenant Ruiz. "Prepare a full briefing for the Council. We need to strengthen our defenses and prepare for any potential escalation." As the stars twinkled in the distance, a sense of foreboding settled over the Celestial Guardian. The arrival of the Galactic Empire was a stark reminder of the challenges ahead. Earth's sovereignty had been challenged, and the path forward would demand not only courage but an unwavering resolve. In the cold silence of space, the first echoes of a brewing conflict reverberated, signaling the dawn of a new and uncertain chapter for humanity. the corridors of the Celestial Guardian hummed with a palpable sense of urgency as Captain Leo Marquez strode purposefully toward the command center. The recent encounter with the Galactic Empire's scout ship had sent ripples through Earth's defenses, stirring a frenzy of activity among the crew and the global leadership. The Council had convened in an emergency session, and Leo's presence was crucial. The command center, a marvel of futuristic design, was abuzz with tactical displays and data streams. Lieutenant Kara Ruiz stood by her console, her face etched with concern as she relayed updates to the assembled officers. Leo joined her, his gaze scanning the holographic map that hovered in mid-air, detailing the surrounding sectors and the fleeting trajectory of the alien vessel. "Captain," Ruiz began, her tone a blend of professionalism and anxiety. "We've received encrypted transmissions from several allied systems. They're anxious about the Empire's movements and offer support should we need it." Leo nodded, his mind weighing the implications of their predicament. The Galactic Empire's aggression was not just a threat to Earth but a challenge to the fragile balance of power in the galaxy. The Council's response would need to be swift and decisive. The door to the command center slid open, and the Council members entered, their expressions grim. Counselor Amelia Drake, the head of Earth's Defense Committee, approached Leo with a determined stride. Her eyes, sharp and calculating, met his with a silent understanding. "Captain Marquez," Drake said, her voice steady. "We need a strategy. The Empire's envoy may have left, but their intentions are clear. We cannot afford to be caught off guard." Leo nodded, his expression serious. "Our first priority must be to enhance our defensive capabilities. We've already begun upgrading our shielding and deploying additional drones. We should also consider strengthening our alliances and fortifying our position in the outer reaches of the solar system." Drake raised an eyebrow. "And what about diplomatic measures? We can't ignore the possibility of negotiation, even with their show of force." Leo sighed. "Negotiation might buy us time, but I doubt it will change their stance. The Empire's history suggests they're more likely to escalate than to compromise. We must prepare for the worst while hoping for the best." Drake nodded, acknowledging the wisdom in Leo's words. "Very well. I'll draft a communique to our allies and prepare the necessary resources for an increased defensive posture." As Drake and her aides moved to their respective tasks, Leo turned to Ruiz. "Prepare a detailed report on the Empire's known tactics and capabilities. We need to be ready for every possible scenario." The command center was a hive of activity as the crew worked to implement Leo's orders. Outside, the vastness of space remained indifferent, its silence a stark contrast to the frenetic pace within the ship. Leo found a moment of solitude at the observation window, his thoughts drifting to the enigmatic alien envoy. The Galactic Empire's sudden interest in Earth was more than a mere diplomatic maneuver, it was a harbinger of conflict. The Empire's reputation for ruthless expansion and control loomed over them like a dark cloud. Suddenly, the tranquility was interrupted by an alert on Leo's console. Ruiz's voice, tense and urgent, crackled through the intercom. "Captain, we've detected another anomaly, an unregistered vessel approaching the outer perimeter. It matches the energy signature of the Galactic Empire." Leo's heart quickened. The Empire's return was not unexpected, but the timing was unsettling. "Activate the defensive perimeter and establish visual contact," he ordered. The observation screen flickered to life, displaying a sleek, ominous craft emerging from the void, a vessel unlike any they had encountered before. Its design was even more advanced and foreboding than the previous scout ship. "Captain, we're receiving a communication," Ruiz announced, her voice taut with anticipation. The screen resolved into the form of a new envoy, this one clad in more elaborate armor, their demeanor even more imperious than before. "This is Admiral Thorne of the Galactic Empire," the envoy declared, their voice cold and commanding. "I am here to discuss your compliance with imperial regulations and the consequences of non-compliance." Leo's gaze hardened. The stakes had just been raised, and the coming confrontation would test the mettle of Earth's defenses and diplomacy. "We stand by our previous stance," Leo replied firmly. Earth will not yield to threats or demands. If the Empire seeks conflict, they will find us ready. Admiral Thorne's expression remained inscrutable. We shall see, Captain Marquez. Prepare for the reckoning. As the transmission ended, Leo turned to face his crew, his resolve steeled. The battle for Earth's sovereignty was about to begin, and every decision, every action would shape the outcome of their struggle. In the cold expanse of space, the tension crackled like static, heralding the dawn of a new and uncertain conflict. The celestial guardian glided silently through the void, its sleek hull a dark silhouette against the shimmering backdrop of distant stars. The ship's internal lights cast long shadows in the command center, where Captain Leo Marquez and his team assembled for a crucial briefing. The air was thick with the scent of tension and anticipation. Captain, Lieutenant Kara Ruiz's voice cut through the murmur of conversation. Her eyes fixed on the tactical display. We've finished the preliminary adjustments to our defenses. Shields are at maximum, and our drone fleet is fully operational. Leo gave a terse nod, his mind already racing through strategies. Good. Prepare for immediate deployment. We need to be ready for any eventuality. The doors slid open, admitting Counselor Amelia Drake and her assistant, Dr. Elena Torres, a leading expert on extraterrestrial technology. Drake's expression was a mask of determination, while Torres looked as if she had just been through a marathon of sleepless nights and relentless data crunching. Captain, Drake greeted, her voice carrying a note of urgency. I've received intelligence from our allies. The Galactic Empire is not acting alone. There's a coalition of systems backing them. This isn't just an isolated aggression, it's a full-scale strategic initiative. Leo's brow furrowed. A coalition? That changes the calculus. How soon can we expect reinforcements from our allies? Torres interjected, her tone analytical. They've promised support, but their response time will vary. We can't rely solely on external assistance. We must fortify our own position and disrupt the Empire's plans before their coalition can fully mobilize. Drake nodded. We've also intercepted encrypted communications indicating that the Empire's next move involves a coordinated attack on our outer defense grid. We need to anticipate their strategy and neutralize their advantage. Leo's eyes narrowed as he absorbed the information. We'll implement a three-phase counter-strategy. Phase 1, sabotage their approach. Phase 2, engage their forces in the Oort cloud. Phase 3, launch a counteroffensive if needed. Ruiz's fingers flew over her console, executing the necessary commands. I'll coordinate with the drone fleet and initiate a series of covert operations to disrupt their advance. The command center fell silent as the team went to work, each member focused on their specific tasks. Leo paced the room, his mind a whirlwind of tactical possibilities. The Empire's forces were formidable, but Earth's resolve was unyielding. Suddenly, the ship's alarm systems blared, interrupting the tense silence. The holodisplay flickered, revealing a live feed of a massive Imperial armada emerging from the edge of the Oort cloud. The sight was both awe-inspiring and terrifying, a formidable array of warships and support vessels. Their dark forms cutting through the stardust like a razor-sharp blade. Captain, the Empire's fleet is larger than anticipated. Ruiz's voice was taut with alarm, Leo's gaze was steely as he surveyed the unfolding scene. Deploy the drone fleet immediately. We need to create a defensive perimeter and engage the enemy on our terms. The Celestial Guardian's engines roared to life, propelling the ship forward as drones launched from their bays, forming a protective shield around Earth's outer defenses. The drones, equipped with advanced disruptor technology, moved with precise coordination, creating a buffer against the approaching Imperial forces. As the first skirmishes erupted in the cold expanse of space, the soundless ballet of combat unfolded. Imperial ships unleashed their firepower. Their energy beams cutting through the darkness, while Earth's drones countered with a relentless barrage of countermeasures. The void was alive with flashes of light and the silent echoes of battle. Leo watched the unfolding chaos with a cold determination. Every decision, every maneuver, was critical. The fate of Earth hinged on their ability to withstand the Empire's assault and retaliate with strategic precision. A transmission pinged through the command center, its source a distress signal from one of Earth's outer stations. The message was clear: the station was under siege, and its defenses were failing. Captain, Ruiz's voice trembled with urgency. We need to assist the outer station immediately or risk losing it to the Empire. Leo's jaw tightened. Prepare a rescue mission. We can't afford to lose any more ground. As the Celestial Guardian shifted course toward the beleaguered station, Leo's thoughts were a maelstrom of strategy and resolve. The battle was far from over, and the stakes had never been higher. In the dark expanse of space, where shadows danced and danger lurked, every moment was a testament to Earth's resilience and the relentless pursuit of victory. The battle had reached a fever pitch. The Celestial Guardian, now a storm of kinetic energy and strategic brilliance, maneuvered through the chaos of the Oort cloud. Its sleek hull shimmered with a lattice of defensive shields as it bore down on the beleaguered outer station, its lights dimming under the onslaught of the Imperial fleet. Captain Leo Marquez stood in the command center, his gaze fixed on the tactical display. The station's signal was weak, its defenses buckling under the relentless pressure of the Empire's assault. Every flicker of the screen told a story of desperation and destruction. Captain, we're on approach. Lieutenant Kara Ruiz's voice cut through the cacophony of alarms and system updates. Our drones are holding the line, but the station's shields are at 20% and dropping fast. Leo's fingers drummed against the edge of the command console, a rhythm of resolve. Activate the stealth protocols. We'll get in close and provide support before the Empire's forces can overwhelm us. The Celestial Guardian's silhouette shimmered as it engaged its cloaking device, becoming a phantom in the void. As the ship edged closer to the station, the darkness of space seemed to compress around them, a suffocating shroud of uncertainty. Deploy the boarding teams, Leo ordered, his voice resolute. We need to secure the station's command center and reroute its power to the remaining defenses. The boarding pods detached from the Celestial Guardian, streaking toward the station with precision. Each pod carried a team of elite soldiers, equipped with advanced combat gear and breaching tools. The pods slammed into the station's hull, embedding themselves with a shuddering impact. Inside the station, the corridors were a maze of flickering lights and echoing alarms. The boarding teams moved swiftly, their movements synchronized with military efficiency. Captain Marquez led a team toward the command center, their path illuminated by the eerie glow of emergency lights. They encountered resistance as they advanced. Imperial soldiers, clad in dark combat suits, emerged from the shadows. Their blasters cutting through the dimness with lethal accuracy. Leo and his team engaged them with practiced precision, their own weapons blazing in a deadly dance of fire and maneuver. Despite the fierce resistance, the boarding teams pushed forward, their determination unyielding. They reached the command center, where Leo's heart pounded with a mix of adrenaline and resolve. The room was a chaos of flashing screens and frantic technicians, their efforts to keep the station operational visibly faltering. Secure the control stations. Leo barked over the din. We need to reroute power and reinforce the shields. His team moved swiftly, taking control of the command consoles and beginning the complex process of reconfiguring the station's systems. The room trembled as external explosions rocked the station, the distant sound of Imperial firepower punctuating the tense silence. As the power was rerouted and the shields began to stabilize, Leo glanced at the tactical display on the command console. The Imperial fleet was still formidable, but the tide was beginning to turn. Earth's drones had managed to disrupt their formations, creating an opening for a counterattack. Captain, we've regained control of the station's systems. Ruiz's voice crackled over the comms. We're holding the line, but we need to finish this quickly. Leo's mind raced with tactical possibilities. Prepare for a coordinated strike. We'll use the station's remaining firepower to support the Celestial Guardian and push back the Empire's forces. With the station's power back online and its defenses reinforced, the boarding teams withdrew, their mission accomplished. The Celestial Guardian, now fully operational and reinforced by the station's defenses, surged forward, its weapons systems blazing with renewed vigor. The battle was a furious maelstrom of energy beams and tactical maneuvers. Earth's forces, galvanized by their victory at the station, fought with a renewed ferocity. The Celestial Guardian led the charge, its advanced weaponry and strategic prowess making a decisive impact on the battlefield. As the Imperial fleet began to retreat, its vessels disordered and battered, a sense of hard-won triumph permeated the command center. Leo watched the enemy forces pull back, his expression a mixture of relief and resolve. The battle had been a brutal test, but Earth had emerged victorious. The station was safe, the Imperial advance repelled, and the Coalition's plans for a swift invasion thwarted. Yet, as Leo surveyed the aftermath of the conflict, he knew this was only a temporary reprieve. The Galactic Empire's persistence was a shadow that would not easily dissipate. The victory at the edge of the Oort cloud was a testament to Earth's resilience, but the war was far from over. The struggle for survival and sovereignty continued, and Captain Leo Marquez was prepared to lead Earth through the shadows of uncertainty toward the promise of a new dawn.